Well, let's analyze some of the madness of the day, shall we, Mr. Rasmussen? Let's rewind this a little bit. We're speaking about billions, but we are already doing that. It's not a big deal. Is he the one paying, or you out there in Europe, in America, everywhere in NATO countries? Is he the one paying, or you out there and me? I ask you, where are those billions coming from? So that's one question I would like to ask Mr. Rasmussen. Is he paying for that shit?
Out billions of dollars or euros.
And he's looking forward to it.
But we're already doing that. This is a codification of what we're already doing.
But extending the timeline for a very long period.
Yes, yeah. But we are already stating that we are in this for as long as it takes.
Okay, for as long as it takes. So basically, that's a warning to you, the citizen of Europe, that you are in a wartime. You are. And the only thing they didn't do yet is declaring publicly that they consider this a wartime. Yes, they give hints, like Prime Minister Rutte. He cannot disappear from the cabinet because we are at wartime. They give hints at this, and just look what they do. Scholz, no questions asked. Ukraine are the terrorists attacking the Nord Stream 2. Critical infrastructure for Germany. No questions asked. Who runs this show? Who runs this show? And is NATO there to protect us when he is talking about an Article 5, how to start an Article 5 with in a country that is already at war? That is he talking about. Basically, how can we get involved, NATO, publicly, openly, without being called the aggressor, by using the Ukraine as a proxy? That's what he is talking about. So yes, you are at a wartime period. Have a talk.
Ultimately, the only security guarantee, I would say the ultimate security guarantee would be for Ukraine to join NATO and be covered by Article 5.
Polling has shown that in some parts of the world, notably the US and Europe, support for Ukraine's cause has been softening just a little bit.
To say the least.
Does this concern you as you look to try and get these massive commitments of dollars?
It is a matter of concern, obviously, and an argument why we should put a quick end to this conflict.
Yes, why should we put a quick end to this conflict? Maybe because of human lives. Maybe should that not be the first and foremost concern? Human life? I don't know. Instead of your billion-dollar war machine, because that's exactly what you are peddling here, Rasmussen. Those billions of dollars and euros that can fall in the hands of Zelensky to buy a few new homes. And it is some concern that people are not so keen, perhaps in the near future, to support the Ukraine. Especially in Germany, I can imagine, after the Ukraine has been shown to be the mastermind behind the terrorist attack. I can imagine that Germans really are not that keen on supporting the Ukraine perhaps anymore in this shape and form, and that worries a lot of you guys, doesn't it, Rasmussen?
And the way we can put a quick end to the conflict is to deliver all the weapons the Ukrainians need. As I said, longer-range
open
missiles,
wallet.
heavy battle tanks, fighter jets.
I have read
All
references
paid
to
by
the
you
U.S.
and me.
Guarantees that it gives Israel for its
now
security.
watch
Is that
carefully.
very much like what we're talking about here with Kyiv?
Yes, it is. Obviously,
really?
there are differences between Ukraine and Israel, but basically we have modeled the Kyiv Security Pact over the security arrangement between the US and Israel. We should not just repeat the language we decided already back in 2008.
2008.
That Ukraine will become a member of NATO. We
will
decided that
become.
back in 2008. It isn't sufficient just to repeat that. We should do something more. And I think NATO should decide to say, okay, we outline a roadmap towards Ukrainian membership
Now
of
listen
NATO.
carefully.
Step 2, in the run-up to
run-up.
the NATO summit in Vilnius, some countries led by the US should sign a document giving security guarantees to Ukraine until Ukraine can join NATO.
Oh, really? Huh? Really? I wonder who those countries will be. Gee, could it be Poland and the Baltic states, Romania, and by extension Moldova? Because a few weeks ago, 1.5 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Zelensky was talking in Moldavia about how to get the weapons depots in Transnistria. Yeah? Are those the countries who will then sign indeed some pact after Vilnius or just before Vilnius in some form of security guarantees, and then allow the Ukrainian army to come in and take care of the Transnistria problem, and then of course it will escalate. And since Moldova and Romania and Poland and those Baltic states entered some private pact, then by extension it will become an Article 5. Something like that. I don't know, but sounds plausible.
We'll need some time to figure out exactly how
they want to
could
buy
Article 5
time.
cover a country that is maybe still at war.
Maybe still at war. If we follow your own logic, it will be at war. It will be at war. You just said in your own admission here, we are in it for the long haul. So, you will want to circumvent the rules of NATO to let a country that is still at war entering NATO against all its articles. That's basically what you are saying. And then, by extension, of course, say, well, okay, now we have Article 5 and we will be at war with Russia because our economy is collapsing, our society is collapsing by design, and we need these measures like lockdowns and mandate vaccinations and curfews and all to protect the European NATO citizens. The ones you are so clearly concerned with in NATO. And the ones who are so concerned themselves that they laugh themselves to death.
How do you think Russia is going to react to this?
I don't care.
Laugh yourself
So just
to
to
death.
sum up here,
Yeah.
tell us why it's so important, in your view, to formalize this in this security compact.
The security compact is important to, so to speak, fix the Russia problem?
To fix the Russian problem. Well, let's fix our fucking NATO problem. And who blew up Nord Stream 2. And then fix why Article 5 in NATO is not working. Either against the USA, a NATO ally attacking another NATO country. Well, you answer to me, Einsteins and brilliant minds out there, how that should apply then on Article 5. When another NATO country attacks another NATO country, or in this case the Ukraine, a semi-proxy NATO country, attacks Europe, Germany and a NATO country. Are we gonna apply Article 5 yes as well? Are we, Mr. Rasmussen? It's a legit question, isn't it? For fuck's sake.